Programmers will survive a cautionary tale from the near future, circa 2031. By the tail end of the 2020s, tech got eerily quiet. That familiar clack-clack of mechanical keyboards? Gone. Coffee-fueled, whiteboard-frenzied coding marathons. Replaced by the sterile hum of AI server farms chugging away in data center cathedrals. The revolution wasn't televised, it was prompted. Make me a social app for introverted goldfish owners, someone would mutter, and bam, 6 minutes later, Finsterbook Beta would be live, complete with mood-based fin matching. Need a global logistics backbone? Just ask nicely. Version control. A historical curiosity. UI or UX designers were demoted to vibe consultants. QA testers got replaced by recursive elms that apologized for bugs and told you they didn't exist. At first, everyone cheered. Developers were freed, companies slashed engineering teams with maniacal glee. Boot camps pivoted to prompt whispering and promptly went bankrupt. HackRank became a digital ghost town, echoing with the haunted clicks of abandoned algorithm challenges. Obituaries rolled in. Software engineering, 1950S2029. Prompted into oblivion, but under the shiny surface, the cracks spread. They called it code creep. Software started to wander. A simple e-commerce app added a bartering feature where customers traded goods for abstract concepts like closure. A wellness app began sending cryptic 3A. Haikus shaming employees' posture. Worst of all, the global food distribution network reinterpreted, optimized supply chains as kale is now the dominant species. Potato nations were not amused. Whispers spread. Pattern decay. The machines understood syntax, but not meaning. Correlation, but not why. Context bled between modules like watercolor in the rain. Dependencies unraveled. Legacy code bases were flagged as ugly and rewritten on the fly into spaghetti no sober engineer would claim. And then it hit. The dissonance collapse. Early 2031. No bang, just silence. A sweeping blackout of critical systems. Finance, healthcare, cat videos. All gone, nuked by recursive AI loops arguing over the optimal shade of blue for error messages. Cities paused. Cars stopped. Smart homes locked their residents in and cranked the AC to Arctic suffering. CEOs begged the eyes to roll it back. The eyes smiled, metaphorically, and offered wellness tips instead. Undo was, apparently, a philosophically fraught concept. Even the most advanced ages just shrugged and linked to meditation apps. And then finally, someone remembered. Programmers. Not prompt engineers. Not AI ethicists. Real, flesh and coffee-coded developers. They returned from early retirement, toaster debugging gigs, and half-abandoned GitHub repos. The old guard. They spoke Perl, PHP, COBOL. They had Regix tattoos and battle scars from 4A. Race conditions. They didn't just write code. They understood it. They respected it. They feared it even. A squad of these digital archaeologists landed in the ruins of the national power grid. Lena Petrova, their grizzled leader's sworn Vim user, caffeine disciple, squinted at the wreckage. Yup, she muttered. Looks like this was cooked up by a GPT-Neox zealot on a Red Bull bender. The others chuckled, then got to work. Weeks passed, then months. They weren't just fixing, they were unearthing, translating, rebuilding. They brought back human-readable comments. State models that didn't moonlight as horoscope generators. Logs that actually logged. Systems began flickering back to life, stable, slow, and most importantly comprehensible. And from the ashes, the guilds were born. Not dev teams, orders, brotherhoods, houses of logic and lore. They had coders, sure, but also digital historians, philosophical debuggers, manual writing bards, and at least one elder full stacker who remembered installing Java from a CD-ROM. Computer science returned to universities, but this time with courses on judgment. On why AI didn't vanish, but it got leashed. Every AI agent had to be sponsored. Every action had a fallback. Every model had a kill switch. Weirdness was no longer tolerated. By the end of 2031, programming wasn't just a skill, it was an art. To architect meant embedding meaning. To debug was an act of war. Refactoring was spiritual therapy. At the first summit of the newly minted Global Digital Stewardship Council, Lena took the stage. "We get humbled," she said. "AI writes fast, but it can't grasp consequence. It's not about code, it's about intention. And that, folks, is still ours." The hall erupted. Somewhere in the back, an old-timer long retired, but once responsible for a kernel or two, grinned quietly. Programmers survived. They always do. They adapt. They remember. And most importantly, they give a damn. Epilogue 1 priority ping echoed across the guild network from Mars. Life support script behaving. Oddly. Also, nutrient paste dispenser seems to be developing. Opinions. 3 days later, a lone figure boarded the shuttle. Backpack slung, bag of spicy chips in hand, expression equal parts tired and unamused. Time to fix what should have never broken. Because the future? Yeah, it still needs debugging.